Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Pete's Corner. My name is Caitlin.
And my name's Kayla, and we're so excited to have you with us. Today, we're going to focus in on one of the most important aspects of a college student's career, professors.
You know, Kayla, I thought professors were just here to make students' lives more miserable.
It may feel like that, but you thought wrong. We're going to take a look into why professors are important, the time they put in outside of the classroom, and how they impact students' lives. First, we're going to go to Allie Baden, who talks to students about how one professor is impacting them.
The concept of kindness is not on any syllabus for any of Taylor Woodall Green's American Sign Language classes. Yet many of her students leave her class with this feeling in hand.
I remember she said, what if we all, worried less about our grades and just worried more about being kind to each other?
Woodall Green has been teaching American Sign Language classes for 4 years at Oklahoma State. Although she has not been a professor for long, Woodall Green has made a lasting impact on multiple students, shaping the way they see the world.
Every class comes back around to the way we're treating specifically the deaf community, because it's ASL classes, but just treating each other as humans and treating maybe people who are marginalized.
Woodall Green always goes out of her way to make sure her students are feeling valued and accepted as students in her classroom.
I've just never had a professor who would stop everything for 3 class periods at a time just to hear us out and do whatever she could to make our days more enjoyable, whenever we were really stressed out, push tests back and do whatever she could to make us feel known.
Woodall Green also extends her talents outside of the classroom and is a major supporter of deaf culture events that occur on campus and around Stillwater. Just recently, Woodall Green helped organize the Sign and Dine event here at the Starlight Terrace. This dinner helps focus and bridge the communities of the hearing and the deaf communities here in Stillwater. While students are very thankful for the contributions Woodall Green puts in these organizations, she just sees it as her normal job.
I can make it to where my life goal is to help other people succeed. That's what I want to do. And I found that if you give a student the time of day to express themselves, to talk about their dreams, to talk about their worries, this is a hard time in their lives. And when you give them that second, that platform to just be who they are and tell you what's going on, you're going to see in them just hope.
Many influential professors roam this campus, but Woodall Green is bringing kindness into the world, one college class at a time. For Pete's Corner, this is Allie Baden.
Thanks, Allie. I had no idea that professors did all that for their students.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning of our show. Next, we're going to go to Isaac Dennis and see how professors are helping students with research study.
Professors teaching at OSU strive to provide an excellent learning environment, but for many, it doesn't stop there. For a lot of professors, teaching at a university is a chance to conduct high-level research, and OSU has a proud tradition of it.
The research that is produced at a university, it's built around solving real-world problems, right? And so you have an incredible diversity of research and experts housed in our university that are answering questions that have everything from what's happening in the Stillwater community, everything from what's happening in policies being made in the state of Oklahoma, to what the military proposes to do in areas like Iran, to addressing climate change in places like Australia. Just research that is global and local and everything in between.
For some professors, the ability to do research is a nice added bonus to teaching, but for some of them, it's not just a bonus and it's not an option, it's a necessity.
Unlike other jobs, where you walk in and you're told to do a particular task, perhaps over and over again, or you have certain mandates that are put on you by other people. As an academic, the thing that I choose to research or commit my efforts behind is my decision, right? And so there's a freedom in application that you really don't get in any other field that I'm aware of, where I can really say, this is the problem or the area that I really want to go after. This is the passion that I have and what I want to pursue. And if that changes 5 years from now, cool, I can make that adjustment. I can change, I can focus on something else. If I find other branches to weave out into from other areas, I can do that and pursue that. And it's encouraged. There's an encouragement of that kind of intellectual curiosity. And to me, that is, I have to have that.
OSU helps equip professors with the tools necessary to conduct their studies, And in turn, our professors provide us invaluable insight into the field of research. With Pete's Corner, I'm Isaac Dennis.
Thanks, Isaac. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to take a look into how first-year professors are helping students.
I want to show you something. This is the money we could save by switching from fresh packed California crushed tomatoes to concentrated tomato paste.
I want to show you something, too. I got a new door. Go take a look at it.
Nobody uses better ingredients than Little Caesars. Like fresh-packed California crushed tomatoes. Pick up a large, deep dish for just $8.
Pizza.
Introducing Lincoln Black Label at Diffie Ford Lincoln. Designed to impress those with impeccable taste, Lincoln Black Label features a collection of interior themes and a host of exclusive membership privileges, inspired by attention to detail and a love of automobiles. With Lincoln Black Label, you'll enjoy an extended premium maintenance plan that covers wear items or even remote vehicle delivery. Lincoln Black Label isn't about luxury ownership, it's about membership. Lincoln Black Label, exclusively at Diffie Ford Lincoln.
At ASAP Energy, our goal is to provide the best customer service for whatever our clients need.
My relationship with ASAP Energy came about in 2007. I was wanting to build a convenience store. I didn't know how to do it. I'd never been in the business. I just felt comfortable with Rick. And so I knew that I wanted to do business with a guy like that. Integrity, loyalty, and family. I would recommend that to anybody. Thanks for taking a chance on me.
At ASAP Energy, everything matters.
Where were you born? It's a question asked all the time. Because where you're from shapes who you are, inspires how you do things. And when that inspiration comes from a place this refreshing, this majestic, this... well, you get the idea. Coors Light, born in the Rockies.
With all this talk about research, I want to know how much time professors are actually spending working outside of the classroom.
Well, Kayla, spoiler alert, it's a lot. We're going to throw it over to Liam, who did some studying on how much work first-year professors are doing outside of class.
I see what you did there. Take it away, Liam.
After 12 years of experience in a different field, you might find it hard to switch your career to something different. For Dr. Shane Graber, this change felt natural.
I taught college in Chicago before, so I mean, now I wouldn't call it nervous, eager, excited, get back in the classroom.
Graber has worked for a number of famous papers around the country. But 2 months ago, Graber achieved a PhD from the University of Texas for journalism. It was the director of journalism at Texas that mentioned him to Oklahoma State.
The director at the University of Texas's School of Journalism was an instructor here. And when, you know, she knows Craig Freeman, and they were talking, and he said, we're going to have we need to fill a position for a visiting scholar. She says, I got the guy for you. So
Graber went through a different process than most professors have to go through when applying for a job. But Graber preferred the way that he was brought on.
It was pretty easy. It wasn't your traditional apply, interview, do a campus visit. No, it's a little more informal, which was great for me.
The hardest thing for many first-year professors is making sure that their students stay engaged in their lectures. The easiest way for first-year professors to do this is by watching how the more experienced professors work through their lectures. Sorry.
The exercise that sticks with Graber's students the most is his News of the Day, which allows them to have a direct participation in the class.
He lets students kind of argue back and forth about the topics that they bring up as news of the day. So I think he does a very good job of keeping us all engaged.
The life of a first-year professor might have its difficulties, but it seems that Dr. Shane Graber is overcoming them. For Pete's Corner, I'm Liam Moore.
Although professors do all the teaching, we wouldn't know which classes to take without our advisors. Our very own Caitlin got the inside scoop on how much time they spend working.
Behind every student is an advisor helping them pave the way for success throughout college. When it comes to picking the right major, professor, or class schedule, advisors are constantly available to counsel students on the choices they face. Advisors dedicate hours to understanding what each major entails and the coursework required. Dr. Amy Martindale works tirelessly to ensure that OSU's advising program is meeting the needs of its students.
Advisors have somewhere around 200 students each, and that's a really good advising load. You think about how many students you need to see each semester, and then be there.
Advisors will specialize in different areas to ensure every student is accounted for. Advisors keep up with schedules as well as grades to make sure students stays on track to graduate.
Aside from academics, advisors often find themselves solving mental breakdowns and fixing identity crises. Whether you're a freshman or a super senior, your advisor is always here to guide you in the right direction.
Angela Weiser is an academic alert advisor for the Spears School of Business.
I've done a lot of interesting things for my students in the past, aside from the traditional helping them find tutors or find a resource on campus or helping them with counseling services. I've taught people how to tie a tie. I've taught them how to make appointments when they don't know. So it's kind of an all-encompassing position.
An advisor is also there to make sure that students hold up their end of the bargain. Students must communicate effectively so an advisor can help them reach their goals. The advisor-student relationship is essential when making college run smoothly. For all the major decisions that come with being a college student, an advisor is there to guide and help students stay on track. For Pete's Corner, I'm Caitlin Seiler.
Welcome back, Caitlin. You must have been busy this week with all that reporting.
You're right, Kayla, but you know who else is pretty busy? Professor Shane Hoffman. Our very own Jeremy Stutzman got the inside scoop on this professor turned YouTube star.
Oklahoma State University looks to build the future through its students. The most inspirational people to the students are the professors. But there is one professor at OSU who's not like the rest, and he is considered a celebrity on YouTube. Meet Shane Hoffman. He came to OSU because of an invitation for the graduate program.
They sent me an invitation letter and didn't even know who I was, and I just hoped that they didn't murder me when I visited.
Hoffman finished grad school and then started teaching at OSU in the fall of 2013. Just as Texas University has Matthew McConaughey, OSU has Shane Hoffman as a celebrity. Shane has been doing YouTube for 8 years now, and his channel constantly grows. As you can see in the bottom left corner, Shane has over 39,000 subscribers. Shane started off as a food critic reviewing Oreos and pizza, but then he realized he needs to change his content to gaming.
It was dormant unless you count the stoners in their parents' basement, which there are probably about 20 of them.
Hoffman spends between 20 to 30 hours working on YouTube and makes more as a YouTuber than a professor. He makes 4 to 5 videos a day and live streams for about an hour. His videos last between 3 to 5 minutes.
It was just making daily content that people enjoyed and a global brand. I mean, people from all over the world play the game, so you find a niche that people are actually interested in.
Students love his content in and out of the classroom and find him quite punny.
It's awesome, and his puns are really funny, and his sarcasm, but he has a great way of teaching it and making it into the real world and just super fun, and is very motivational to us.
Oklahoma State has had many celebrities come through like Garth Brooks, Barry Sanders, and Marcus Smart. Now we can add Shane Hoffman to the list. From Pete's Corner, this is Jeremy Stutzman.
I wonder if I could be YouTube famous.
I'm glad I'm not. That's way too much pressure.
Well, maybe you could get some tips from our next reporter. Ali Bond got to meet the top-rated professor on the Rate My Professor website. Let's see what she found out.
This is where the Yusuf Lab is located, at Venture One building. This is Noah Yusuf, a microbiology and molecular genetics professor. She's described as caring, knowledgeable, passionate, respected, inspirational, and hilarious. She's also the highest-rated professors for OSU on RateMyProfessors.com.
Well, it makes me feel very, very good because one of, of course, the main goal of anyone who's teaching is to get the point across, right, so that students would understand. And that's really my main goal in the classroom. So I'm glad that this is what they're seeing on the other end of it. But hilarious makes me feel good about myself.
On RateMyProfessors.com, you can rate professors on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. How the rating works: students rate their professor and leave either a negative or a positive review. Then the program rates professors based on their rating, difficulty, and number of good reviews. Yusuf is number 1. What do students say about her? Definitely the best professor I've ever had. By far the best microbiology professor in all of Oklahoma. Very genuine and wants her students to succeed. Take Yusuf. Troy Adkins, the microbiology club president, explains how he isn't shocked about what students have said.
Oh, no, that's perfect. Those words perfectly describe her. Her passionate. That's one word that is like just, she's really passionate about her stuff.
As you can see, she not only has been rated as a top professor by OSU students on RateMyProfessor.com, she also has been nominated for awards, different scholarships, to be a panelist, and to be on different memberships. Not to mention, she got chosen to go to Germany as a speaker.
How does she balance all of this while also being a mother and wife?
Okay, so a big part of this I owe to my husband, who's also a professor in the department.
Both Yusuf and her husband teach at OSU and run their own research lab. Inspiring her students is important to Yusuf, not only with her research, but with her life as well. Yusuf was born in Cairo, Egypt, where she went to pharmaceutical school straight out of college. It wasn't until she went to school in Norman that she realized most people in America have to complete even more schooling. She then went on to conduct research at OSU, to eventually becoming a professor like she is now.
I can't imagine myself not teaching. And I think eventually when I'm, I don't know, years and years from now, when I'm not doing research anymore, I would like to just be teaching.
As for Adkins, he had one thing he wanted Yusuf to hear.
There's one person that I can say is really passionate about teaching and making sure that the students are equipped with the knowledge to exceed and excel in their lives.
For Pete's Corner, I'm Allie Bond.
We're going to take a short break, but after we're going to see how 2 married professors are giving back to their students. Stay tuned.
The Deli Department at Homeland is Oklahoma's headquarters for party trays. Enjoy the time with family and friends at your next event, and let your neighborhood Homeland create the perfect fruit, deli, or cheese tray for you. The party planners at Homeland will help you choose the perfect party food, sized just right for your guests. Call us, stop in, or order online, and we'll make it ready for pickup on your schedule. Make your next party special with a party tray from your neighborhood Homeland.
Good to be home, Homeland.
Love these things. Hilarious.
Sorry, force of habit.
As long as you are you, it's Miller time.
Hi, it's Sam at Louis Grill and Bar, here to introduce our new menu items from south of the border. Come try our new poblano chicken tacos, or the ever-popular sriracha shrimp tacos. At Louis, where you come for the food, but stay for the fun.
It's hard to imagine my life before her, or a day without her. So much of what I take for granted simply wouldn't exist. She is the force that holds our life together. She is my everything, the center of my universe, from Forevermark. The diamond, the promise. Available at Lewis Jewelers.
I'm Randy Heights with 1077 The Franchise, and let me tell you about the HCG diet from New Leaf Wellness and what it's meant to me. Over the last year, I've dropped 90 pounds, and this has been a lifesaver, guys. I'm in a wheelchair, so I can't always get to the gym, and what's been incredible about this diet, when I can't work out, I still lose the weight. 90 pounds in a year is a lot for anyone, but for me, it's been a miracle. Why don't you give New Leaf Wellness Centers a call and see if they can't help you with a free consultation, or go online at newleafcenters.com.
Welcome back. We want to focus this part of the show on the interesting part of professors' lives that you may not see inside the classroom.
Starting off, we have 2 professors that not only teach together, but live together. Ariane Banks got an inside look at the life of the Coolies.
Being the spotlight in front of thousands of students every day takes a special person. Knowing that you play a big part of student success and how far they could go leaves huge shoes to fill. Asia Cooley is a professor in the department. She keeps a busy schedule and also starting another year.
This is the start of my third year. My first 2 years I have been in the role of the instructor.
Not only is she a professor, but also finding ways to impact her students.
I feel like students that go through our SMSC program are here to find their passion, and I approach my classes, I approach one-on-one conversations with the students with the objective to really find what they would like to do once they get out.
I thought that her lifelong partner would be teaching in the same school. Meeting in grad school, Sky Cooley is also a professor here at OSU teaching in the Strategic Communications Department. Though he works 8 to 5, the hours seem like they are never ending, even when he arrives home.
I teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays, as well as a night class on Wednesday. And then I try to find hours that I can sit down and block and do grant writing and writing up our research reports. Our existence is a lot of work. Like, you get up and we normally do a conference call in the morning, prep up for class, teach the class, then find some windows to write.
Spending countless hours in and out of the office, leaving an impact on his students, still remain a priority.
I try to teach students finding common good. I try to teach them the value of perspective sharing. I try to teach them some more of the things that you get from more of maybe perhaps the rhetorical side of communication, but life lessons like, real world, how to be a good person kind of lessons.
Study abroad is a big part of their lives. Last year, they took students out of the country to Funden University in Shanghai. These students were also students that they have worked with on previous projects. No matter if they're in Greece, Mexico, China, or here in the U.S., they are always finding ways to be a part of students' lives. Nothing is like being able to have your best friend or partner in crime working in the same field as you. Having that opportunity to shoot a text or just feed off each other's energy and get ideas is very rare. But that is exactly what the married couple does.
Yeah, I think that we certainly do. I know prior to Asia finishing her PhD, she sort of saw me in the professor role as well. And so I think that I had a little bit of a learning curve, that I was able to help her through. I would say in that sense that was a benefit. But as a couple coming in, I mean, we are so opposite in terms of like what our strengths are.
With this only being their third year, I'd say they're off to a tremendous start. Everyone knows the saying of teamwork makes the dream work, and that is what the Cooleys are doing.
Y a la República que representa una nación.
Kayla, what are you doing?
I thought speaking Spanish would be the best way to introduce this next professor who has studied many languages. We're going to throw it over
to Noah Southard to see what he learned.
Residing in Gunderson Hall is a Spanish professor of loyalty, kindness, and many languages. Room 301H holds one of the best professors at Oklahoma State University.
I went to undergrad there at the State University of New York in Potsdam. Started out as a music education major with a minor in Spanish. And I decided sophomore year that I was really fascinated by languages.
Donald Wood is a traveling man. For work or vacation, one of his favorite places to travel is to Spain.
So I had a goal that I set for myself of visiting a different city or different region of Spain every summer so that I could better talk about them from firsthand experience when I taught classes. I started going and taking coursework every summer. I'd take some kind of a class or something that I would find that looked interesting. And so my first experience was actually in Granada. I attended a private language institute there back in 2015, I guess it was. And I spent 2 months living in a residence with a bunch of other students from all over the world, which is a really fascinating experience. In the last couple of years, I started just traveling with really no plan in mind. I would block out a period of about 6 weeks or so, go to a starting point, and kind of plan from there.
Between his childhood and travels, Professor Wood has brought his knowledge and experience back into the classroom so his students are able to succeed.
Professor Donnie Wood is obviously my colleague. He's probably one of the most hilarious people that is walking around in our office space. As a professor, I know that he's very well loved by all of his students. He's absolutely hilarious. I know that for me personally, and I can see that that's the case with all of his students.
If you ever need a translator or a traveling advisor, this is the man to call. For Pete's Corner, I'm Noah Southard.
We're going to change tone here as we follow Haley Carr as she got an inside look on the life of a professor whose life dramatically changed following the devastating floods back in May.
Being a full-time college professor is hard enough, but one OSU professor also has to deal with the loss of her home. Oklahoma's record-breaking floods from last spring caused catastrophic damage to the Stillwater area, and poetry professor Lisa Lewis is still dealing with its impact.
I really loved that house, and I loved the vintage aspects of it, and I so didn't want water to get all the way up in it.
And the floods affected Lewis academically as well. She was able to save her hundreds of books from the rising waters, but they'll have to be kept in storage until she's able to move back in.
It has certainly made me realize how important the books are to me, even when I'm not looking at them. It makes you feel stupider immediately, which is a horrible thought, really. It's a horrible feeling.
But Lewis hasn't let the stress of home construction derail her dedication to her students. Daniel Matroka, a creative writing junior, knows he can still use his professor's office hours to get valuable feedback on his work.
I really appreciate getting extra feedback from her. Just having her be an established, published writer, it really helps having her feedback.
In addition to her classwork, Lewis also serves as creative writing director for the English department. She even inspired her students to create a writing club on campus.
Being someone who wants to write poetry and fiction, well, she's really just furthered my love of writing, and in fact, I loved her class so much when I first took it that with a couple of classmates, I formed the Creative Writing Club here at OSU.
While Lewis isn't too excited about living at the La Quinta this semester, she's kept a positive outlook on her situation. She even hopes to write a book of poems from her experiences at the hotel. For Pete's Corner, I'm Haley Carr.
It's so inspiring to see Professor Lewis continue to invest in students even after she's lost everything.
I agree. And that's our show. We want to say thank you again to all the professors for everything they do for us.
From grading our essays to traveling abroad with us to offering life advice midway through a lecture, you deserve all of our respect.
From all of us here at Pete's Corner, thanks for watching.
And see you next time.